It is midnight in the heartland. I am Jeffrey Daugherty, and this is Unindoctrinate, taking you into the midnight hour, reminding you of your personal power, getting you to the place where you can, ladies and gentlemen, unindoctrinate yourself. And there's no sense getting unindoctrinated and still stinking, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to stink once you're unindoctrinated. You'd much rather smell of wonderful peppermint, wouldn't you? Well, that's why I go to jeffreydarty.com. Well, I really don't, but I want you to. And click on the Hero Soap logo. That's the American flag logo. And they will give you a great discount on their their organic, no bad stuff, made by veterans, supporting veterans soap that I use every single day. And let me just tell you, folks, that peppermint soap gives you a nice little tingle, if you know what I mean. So go there to Hero Soap, get yourself some great soap. Let freedom clean, ladies and gentlemen, because there's no sense being unindoctrinated if you're going to be stinking. Nobody wants anybody that's stinky, and we don't want anybody associating being unindoctrinated with being stinky. So let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. So we understand that our mind works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We understand that we are bombarded with negative matrix messaging designed for our destruction. It's that simple. It comes from the mainstream media. You know who they are. And it comes from the lamestream media. Now you know who they are. And I want you to know that I'm also the artist known as the Christian Whistleblower. I have a growing, surging, exciting, spectacular, and a little bit sexy channel on YouTube. Bringing sexy back, ladies and gentlemen. Go to YouTube, type in Christian Whistleblower, type in Jeffrey Daugherty, and you will see this great channel of unindoctrination. And please subscribe. We'd like you to be part of the family. If you hit that bell that's up there in the upper right-hand corner, that means that they will tell you whenever I put out another edition of Podcast Excellence. And even though these shows that you're listening to, Unindoctrinate, are exclusively presented live here on Odyssey and our participating terrestrial stations, you can see replays complete with amazing video presentations as well. That's right. You can see the whole video. You can participate in chat. Well, not unless it's live, but you know what I'm saying. Go to the YouTube, check it out. You can also follow me on Twitter at Unindoctrinate, and that's a lot of fun too. So we understand it's mainstream media. We understand the lamestream media. Well, Jeff, how do I know if it's lamestream? If it's preaching fear, guilt, control, lack, disaster, or bad news, then it is lamestream media. No matter how much you like the guy or the girl, it is not something that's going to help you build your world. And you know that you don't want to listen to TV all day long as background music in your house. Stupid. You don't want to go to sleep with TV. Stupid. And you don't want to listen to lamestream media as background or go to sleep with it. Stupid. And can I just say, can I give you a little bit of friendly advice? You know I'm going to, whether you say yes or no. And I use the word stupid a lot, but it's such a good word. It works, and it really drives the point home. It's one of those words that you still will get people's attention. And I'm going to say that if you have a television in your bedroom, stupid. Unless if you're shut in, you can confined to the bed. I get it. But if you've got a television in your bedroom, stupid. And guess what? Your sex life will improve if you don't have a television in your bedroom too. That is for free. See, we do try to bring sexy back in the best way possible. So that's what we know. And that's where we are. We can't shut all this out entirely, but we can shut out all that we can. It's not impossible to shut a lot of it out. It's just impossible to shut it all out because you do have to leave your house eventually. Although sometimes with Unindoctrinate, with the YouTube channel, I can go quite a few days without getting out of the house unless I get forced out, which is good for me. So anyway, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You can't shut it all out as I read my notes. That's impossible. And shielding. Well, Jeff, I just shield. I can watch TV all day because I just shield from the bad stuff. Well, first of all, that's dumb. Doesn't work that way. And let me just talk to you a little bit about shielding. Shielding is not what you think it is. And shielding doesn't work the way you think it does. Shielding was designed as a shamanic tool for a shaman to be able to get from where he is or she is to where they want to be without being detected. It's a dream walker technique. It's an astral technique. It enables a trained shaman to get from where they are to where they want to be, and then they drop the shield. Why? Because shielding is not effective long term. Shielding really isn't effective more than a few minutes. And you wonder why, but I put up my shields and it's still because they're not meant to be used for what you want to use them for. I mean, a cardboard box is really, really good for what it's made for. But if you get in a cardboard box and get out on a lake and think you're going to use it as a boat, it's not going to be really effective for that for very long. You're going to find yourself swimming or sinking if you don't know how to. So shielding is not a solution, ladies and gentlemen. And but I have shielding where just the good can come in. And I don't know. And I'll almost guarantee you're not good enough for selective shielding. And even if you were, it doesn't last long enough. So shielding isn't designed. Shutting things off is what you need to do. Not doing things is what you need to do. Don't talk to me about shields. That's just somebody that doesn't want to do the hard work. So shielding doesn't work the way you think it is. It isn't for this, and it won't work long term. We must begin to mindfully manifest moment by moment. We must begin to mindfully manifest moment by moment, ladies and gentlemen. You, must begin to mindfully manifest moment by moment. Step one, shut off the mainstream, shut off the lamestream. And then, well, what do I do in this quiet? Oh, sometimes I just want to reach out and slap someone, but in a loving namaste kind of way. I want to give you a namaste slap, a namaste backhand, because it's, I see the divinity in you, and the divinity in me recognizes the divinity in you, but I see a lot of stupid in there too, and I want to slap that. I want to backhand that. And when someone is like delirious, what do? You slap them, you backhand them, and what you're doing is delirious. And I see the divinity in you. So I just want to give you a little bit of mostly namaste like this, but some namaste slap, little namaste backhand. Someone was saying, you can't do that, it doesn't work. Oh, it does work, and it is true, and I just explained it to you, and it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Nod your head, yes. So a little namaste for your ass if you're saying, but it's so quiet, I don't like the quiet. That's because your mind is used to being filled and manifested with matrix messaging. And when it's quiet, it's like, oh my God, what do I do now? You think. What do I do now? You mindfully manifest your world instead of blindly manifesting theirs. Are you beginning to see how this works? It's actually very, very powerful and just a little bit scary. Begin to mindfully manifest moment by moment. It's not easy, especially at the start. It's a little scary, especially at the beginning. But I promise you, it gets easier. And before long, it really becomes second nature. At first, when you shut off mainstream, you shut off lamestream, and you're in quiet, you're going to panic. You're going to be like, what do I do? It's so quiet. Well, we're here to show you what to do. We're here to explain to you what to do. Now, whether you do it or not, that's up to you. I'm just here to give you the information that will allow you to unindoctrinate yourself if you choose to do so. And you use baby steps. Nobody expects a baby to jump up out of the crib and moonwalk, even though that would be really, really cool. Could you imagine if you had a baby that could moonwalk, how much money you could make with a moonwalking baby? That would be pretty amazing. Put a little Michael Jackson hat on and one little baby glove. That would be really, really cool. A moonwalking baby. But no, we're not going to have that. And we're not going to start just being complete mindful manifestors just overnight. But we do have baby steps. Number one, as we've just talked about, we eliminate the matrix messaging as much as possible. We eliminate the mainstream. We eliminate the mainstream. And again, here's written in my notes, if you have the TV or the radio on constantly playing in the background, you're killing your life. If you fall asleep to TV or radio, you're killing your life. YouTube, you're killing your life because you're not careful enough with what you listen to. Night matrix programming will wreck all your waking hours work. You can manifest your butt off all day long and then go to sleep watching TV, listening to the radio, listening to YouTube, and you can wreck all the work that you do in the daytime. Because you're probably not home as many hours as you're going to sleep. And even if you were, the sleeping is unfiltered. Your mind is a lot more open. And you're going to wreck all the work you do during the waking hours if you continue to mainstream. Mainstream, or mainline lamestream, talking drugs here, mainlining into your veins, right into your spirit. It's going to wreck everything that you do during your waking hours. So don't do it. If you're not going to do this, then just turn me off right now. That's what I wrote in my notes. If you're not going to do this, just turn me off right now, because nothing else will matter. And folks, that does sound a little harsh. That sounds a little hard. That sounds like, oh, Jeff, you're going to make me cry. Well, sometimes I'm here to make you cry. I really am. I'm not always here to make you smile. I'm not always here to make you feel that warm, fuzzy butterfly feeling in your heart. I'm really not. I'm here to bring you truth. I'm here to bring you reality. I'm here to bring you real world wake up information. And if you are going to continue to listen to TV all day long, if you're going to continue to listen to the YouTube running without being supervised and making sure you're not getting the lamestream all day long, then just turn this off now, because I can't help you. Everything I tell you, you're not going to be able to do, because this is going to wreck it. If you're going to go to sleep watching TV, turn this off now. It's not worth your time or mine. If you're going to go to sleep, listen to the radio, listen to YouTube, don't even listen anymore, because it's pointless. Pointless. Won't help you. And then you'll think it's my fault. Well, I listened to Jeff talk about mindful manifestation moment by moment, and I did what he said, and it didn't change anything. Oh, so you quit watching TV? Well, no, but I did everything else. Oh, so you quit going to sleep with the YouTube just rolling? No, I didn't do that. Everything else, though. Oh, really? So you didn't do what Jeff said? And you don't have to do what Jeff says. I'm just the guy with 39 years of experience. Take it or leave it. I'm just the guy with the 100,000 hours plus study across the spiritual spectrum. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. It really is. And guess what? It doesn't affect, but see, that's the problem. I was going to say it doesn't affect my manifestation, but it does. Because if you don't get your due done, then I got to do your due. You have something you're supposed to do. And nobody else in this 5D or 3D, 5D, 3D overlay in the 5D world, no one else where we are can do what you're supposed to do. But if you won't do it, then people like me and Rocky, we got to pick up your slack. We got to pick up your slack. And my back gets sore carrying your load. So we do want you to learn to mindfully manifest moment by moment, because then you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and we don't have to do it. And can I just be very frank with you? When you don't do your due and we got to do your due and our due, we don't do it as good as you do. So everybody loses out. So this is that important. That's why I try to be very frank. That's why I try to use a little namaste, mostly this kind of namaste, but some of that namaste, some of that namaste. If you're just on the radio, that was a slap and then a following backhand. It was the double hand namaste bow, but then there was the slapiste, and the backhandiste as well. And those are all forms of namaste. I almost said MRFers, but I didn't. So don't get angry with me, ladies and gentlemen. It's the midnight hour in the heartland. It's time for a little levity, time for a little frivolity. And I got to tell you, folks, I was feeling really, really bad today. I don't know what happened. I woke up, got a shower, feeling good, went to town because we live out of town. So I went to town. Sounds like Paw and the dogs and the sheep and everything. But no, I just went to town and I got me a nice little stamp to put my YouTube channel in the back of the plastic Jesus stickers I'm going to be handing out at Alien Con this weekend in Dallas, Texas at the Odyssey Radio booth. And that reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, that some of you could probably I have to watch the TV to go to sleep. Well, no, you don't. What I suggest you do, and this is what some of my friends did, they went on to jeffreydaugherty.com, went to the Verve, the VERV logo. That's the best CBD out there. And they take that CBD before they go to bed, and they sleep. The CBD makes them sleep like a baby. Just a suggestion. All of the products that we represent, all of our great sponsors are things that I know are going to help you change your life. And the Verve CBD oil is another one of those. Get a great discount. Go to the Verve logo at jeffreydaugherty.com. Click on it and see what it will do for you, ladies and gentlemen. So we have got to make commitments. It's not all, we think that everything's going to be a spiritual solution. It's actually, most of the stuff is physical, literal, just do the work. And that really is spiritual. Not most of what we do is not woo-woo, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not serious enough to take the physical actions, then you won't be serious enough to take the spiritual manifestation actions. But I'm going to assume that I'm talking to people that are serious enough to take these actions that I've talked about. Turning off the TV, turning off mainstream, turning off lamestream, not sleeping to it. And you're going to do this stuff. So we're going to talk to you about the rest of it. And anyway, I was talking about I felt really bad. Went and shot my Glock 19, fired off 60 rounds. It was really loud in there. And I think I might have got my shooting glasses underneath the ear thing because I just felt horrible, pounding headache, not good. But I came home, got into the fluffy environment, and here I am bringing you podcast excellence because the show must go on, especially when the show is to get you in the know and help you get unindoctrinated. So we are in service to you, even when we're not at the top of our game. And I know it's very, very hard for you to tell that it looks like I'm at the top of my game because I really am. But sometimes, even when you're not at the top of your game, you got to be at the top of your game. And that is what you can do when you're unindoctrinated. That's what you can do when you're running on all cylinders. That's what you can do when you're taking advantage of these great products and services that our sponsors have here. And this is what happens when you do the things that we're suggesting that you do, but you don't have to. You don't have to. So here are some positive manifestation techniques. Here's some baby steps. You're not going to be perfect out of the box. Eliminate negative fantasies. So many of you, and really smart people, you'll be like, well, what if I say this and they say that, and then they get upset and I say this and they say that, and then a big monster comes and eats them. Now, that's a little bit silly, but you spend most of your days compiling these negative fantasies. Well, and we'll go back to basic stuff. Well, I want to go over there and ask her out. But what if she says no and laughs at me and points, and the whole group starts laughing at me and I feel really bad? Well, number one, that's not going to happen. And you're creating a negative fantasy. You're assuming the worst because you're used to matrix mindset programming. You're used to matrix manifesting. Me, I would think, ooh, she looks good. I'm going to go over there. What happens if she sees me, says yes, we go on a date, she falls in love with me and wants to marry me? See, that's the way my mind works. I'm way into the positive. I'm way into the optimism. So I'm manifesting these incredible, super cool life scenarios. While you're manifesting worry and doubt and fear and pain and, oh my gosh, what if? I'm manifesting cool, better, stronger, faster, super marvelous, supernatural kind of stuff. And it's just a decision. And I don't want to brag. Well, maybe I do just a little bit because I want to be thankful. But my life, dude, my life is pretty magical. My life's pretty magical. Hanging out with Chris Jericho, Sam Tripoli, going down to conventions, being on the radio, being on YouTube with a surging channel. Wow. It's amazing. I'm living, and this is part of it, I'm living the life that I manifested years ago. And don't think for a second I didn't manifest every minute of this. And I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just showing you what happens. You manifest. And I asked when Chris Jericho and I were finished with our interview that's going to be broadcast on Talk is Jericho. I asked him, I said, Chris, what did you want to be when you grew up? Because I want to know about his manifesting. And he said, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be in a rock band and I wanted to wrestle. And today, Chris Jericho is the lead singer for Fozzy, a great rock band. I got a chance to see him. It was awesome. Met him, cool dudes. And he's arguably the greatest wrestler in the history of wrestling. Do you think it's coincidental that as a little kid he was manifesting that? Now, it's a little bit easier to manifest big stuff when your dad plays for the New York Rangers. I get that. My dad didn't play for the New York Rangers. He did play AAA baseball. But your dad probably didn't play for the New York Rangers. But that just allowed Chris Jericho to have bigger dreams and realize that bigger things were possible. But you live in a world that shows you how big is available, shows you what's possible. And you can manifest your world into anything, and you will live the world that you manifest. I guarantee you. That's why I get so sick of these lamestream pinheads that want to say, oh, you can manifest your own world, and then tell you that everything's going to hell and Jesus is going to come and kill everybody. That's what they want to manifest. I'm not buying into it anymore. I am not buying into it anymore. My dad didn't play for the Rangers, but I manifest just like he did. Why? Because I know it's possible and I do it and it's easy. And easy to me is something you can do. And I'm living the life that I've been manifesting for years. And I didn't even go into the details that are super cool. I mean, if you saw my life, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'll take that. And I'm very happy, very thankful. And like I said to my son the other day, if you work your ass off and if you manifest your ass off, in 4 or 5 years, you can be an overnight success. It's just the truth, folks. So you manifest baby steps. First of all, you end the negative what if scenarios. Mark Twain said, I worried about 1,000 things, and one of them actually happened. You spend your time creating negative scenarios. Well, I would like to start a YouTube channel, but what if I start a YouTube channel and nobody watches? What if I start a YouTube channel and I sound funny? What if I start a YouTube channel and I look stupid and I spend $50 on a mic and I never get back? What if? See, the difference between that and me is when I started the YouTube channel, what if I start a YouTube channel and all of a sudden there's 500,000 subscribers and I can't get enough information out to them? See, it's just a different mindset and it's a choice. And I'm not going to get through this unless I hurry. They can be creative. You are manifesting. When you do these negative scenarios, but Jeff, it always happens just the way I think. No shit. Really? That's what we're talking about. You will manifest it. Catch yourself when you're manifesting a negative fantasy and turn it into a positive fantasy. We'll go back to my silly little example. I would go over and ask her out, but she might say no. But what if I go over and ask her out? She says, I want to have, not only like go out with you, I want to have your baby. You know, turn it around. Take a negative fantasy and turn it into a positive fantasy. And cousins, you could take that many ways with that scenario. Instead of thinking she's going to say, no, I don't want to go out with you. What if she says, well, actually, I've got a van right outside with blackout windows and it's got a bed that goes around in circles and I have a sparkly ball in the middle and there's champagne on ice. See, just let it go. Let your mind manifest moment by moment. Catch yourself and turn it into a positive fantasy. This is manifesting moment by moment. I'm going to have to go through this fast because we're out of time. Then start initiating your manifesting moments. You essentially brainwash yourself. And if you don't, someone else will be happy to do it for you. Someone else does it to you. Why don't you do it yourself? Then you can start manifesting for the world. Start changing the world by changing your world first. Clear your mind. Oh, I'm going to do that one later. So, folks, I know I had to go through that fast because we're running out of time, but this is Unindoctrinate. I am Jeffrey Daugherty. See me on YouTube, The Christian Whistleblower. This stuff is good. Listen to it again. I had to go through that last bit a little bit fast, but it's powerful. It will change your life. We are the last generation of real humans. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. We are the last generation of real humans. We are the Gospel Truth Army. We can change the world if we just get busy.